Howdy there, I'm that indie games guy, and if you're here, then you're exactly like me. You love indie games and want to know what games will be coming out in the future. Or if you're watching this from the future, games that have already been released. This video, I'll explore a whole list of indie games that are set to be released shortly. These could be games you've already wishlisted, or unknown gems. Let me know in the comments below if you like the look of any of these games, and let the video commence. Just a heads up, I'm currently in the process of moving home and the office is a little echoey, so the video may sound a little weird, almost as if I'm in a washing machine or a shipping container. But worry not, the content is still the same, just sounds a little weird. Starting off this week with a name I'm sure I'll be getting wrong, but the game looks so right. This is Chronique des Silencieux, a point-and-click detective game that puts you in the shoes of a new young detective who needs to dig out secrets that's being tightly kept by an old man. You'll need to think on your feet if you're to be successful in this assignment. You are entrusted with the particular case of Victor Desveland. This old history professor is known for shrouding his past life in secrecy for everyone around, including his own daughter Catherine. But an apparently harmless accident decides him to hire you to help Catherine trace back the steps of his life. You'll need to put together all the clues you find and to start to uncover the truth surrounding the manor and the occupants who call it home. I can imagine this plays a little like Disco Elysium in the manner of which you'll head around the land available and question individuals to figure out the truth. I'm ready to get my magnifying glass out to solve this case here. Are you landlubbers? Ye call yourself a pirate? That's right, it's time to jump into the boots of a pirate and sail the seven seas in Corsairs Legacy, a game that is set in the Caribbean in this historical pirate life simulator. Sail the seas, engage in naval battles, and explore the islands to your content. You'll play as Rufus Monroe, who after a raid on a ship is being chased by the Spanish Navy. You'll need to hide or fight as you travel around the available islands in hope for shelter, as you try to rid yourself of the bounty, or make the bounty go even higher as you rise to become a legendary pirate. Maybe not on the level of Luffy, but that's only if you don't eat a devil fruit. I remember playing Sid Meier's Pirates and loving the game. This is really giving me that old school kind of pirate adventure, and I can't wait to sail the seas once again. Have you ever been sat there playing Overcooked and thought, wow, this needs to be faster and more furious, that it needs the need for speed? Well, this is Speed Crew, a co-op adventure that puts you and your friends in the pit lane, that you'll need to fix cars as they arrive and fix them faster than you'll be able to say family. Your task is to get your driver back on the track as fast as possible, and the only way to do that is by working together. And I know that your friends might not be the Dom to your Brian, but they've all you've got in this pit stop, and you better put them to work if you have any chance of winning the championship. The game will have 48 levels in total that'll start from freshly laid tarmac to lava flowing death races, as each new level will throw new challenges and even wackier obstacles. Wacky racers would definitely be proud of this one. Me and my wife love Overcooked and Moving Out. I have a feeling Speed Crew will be up there as a new favourite couch co-op experience. You are a legendary thief. You've stolen countless jewels and artifacts, but the latest job has you stumped from the moment you enter. This is Boxes, Lost Fragments, a puzzle game that will have you scratching your head for clues as you try to solve numerous puzzles that will stop you from getting the goods. You were told it should have been a quick in and out job, but the moment that you entered the manor, you are now the one who is trapped, having to look for any escape from this massive place. The puzzles will slowly get harder as you enter further into the maze of rooms that await you. Each puzzle will require you to think outside and maybe a little inside the box to look for clues that will assist in your escape. Boxes, Lost Fragments seems like a fantastic game to get lost in the inner workings of a puzzle. Escape rooms have been becoming more popular over the last few years, and I think this game will allow you to enter one without the need of leaving the house. If anyone remembers the game called The Room, an old iPhone game, this is really giving me that, but on a grander scale. I love the iPhone game, so fingers crossed it's similar and I can get lost in the world again. I'm going to hold my hands up straight away and say this will definitely not be for everyone. It's a rather unique game that will have you learning to code and possibly learn skills that you never knew about. This is Joy of Programming. Well, you might have guessed it's a programming game that will have you using real Python code to do a heap of tasks within the game. You'll be learning how code works and what you'll need to program to complete levels. You'll need to move items from point A to point B by coding a robot to come along and pick it up for you. Move bridges with a click of a button, after obviously typing a lot of buttons to enter the code. Joy of Programming, to me, is going to be a little like Marmite. You're either going to love it or hate it. Not everyone has the want or the spark to want to code, so chances are they probably won't pick up the game. But anyone who is interested, I can imagine this being like a beginner's guide or a test to see if you can still do things that you may have learned a long time ago. Moving along now, we have Project 13. Unlucky to some, and it'll probably remain unlucky. This is a psychological horror walking simulator that will put you through your paces. You have been kidnapped and enslaved as part of Project 13. Not sure why you have been taken, you'll need to look for your escape as your life depends on it. The game seems to have taken inspiration from PT, the Silent Hill demo that will sadly never see the light of day again, as you're trapped in a repetitive psych ward corridor. Each time you step out into the ward, you'll need to report strange encounters that are different from the last time you went down. If you miss one, you might find yourself at the start of the loop again. Walking simulators definitely aren't for everyone. I'm still debating whether to start Death Stranding, but if you add the element of the unknown, the horror aspect, I have a feeling Project 13 will be drawing people in who might be a little intrigued by what's happening and who's done this to you. I'm sure we all remember Rock Band and Guitar Hero when they released the whole band kit. If you went round a friend's house, you just hoped you didn't get given the microphone unless you were sure you could nail through the fire and flames. But it's hard to find copies of that now. But with VR starting to become more and more popular, why not move the games into the virtual world so you and your friends can rock out from your own home? This is Band Space, an online co-op rhythm game. You can play drums, guitar, keyboard or bass, as you can show off and make sweet music in VR. Band Space will be a free game, which, let's be honest, is amazing. The game has already been released on the Meta Store, which can be accessed directly from the Meta headset, but we'll be heading to Steam very shortly. Beat Saber is a fantastic game, but with the amount of DLC now, it's become more of a money grab unless you mod the game. Band Space seems to be the complete opposite. It's going to stay free, and you can even import your own songs into the game. VR isn't for everyone, but if you have a group of friends who are down to start a band, I think Band Space will be a really fun-filled time, as it doesn't take things seriously and you can just enjoy the moments. Legendary Hoplite is the next game on the list, a combination of action RPG and tower defense. Slay monsters, find weapons, and upgrade your armies as you defend your base. Prevent humanity from extinction at the hands of monsters from Greek mythology and ancient tribes. You'll need to use spears, swords, and shields to slay thousands of monsters that are attacking the city of Ithaca. Dio has yet to discover his true potential, with a wide selection of gear to be used, godlike powers to be summoned, and entire new armies to be drafted for battle. This is a war of the fate of mankind. The mix between a tower defense and an action RPG is really drawing me in. I just think it's a completely interesting mix, as I'm a massive fan of action RPGs, but tower defense games have always been a genre that I wish I could play more of, but never really got into it. So with this, it looks like it will probably pull me in a little bit and possibly get me into the game genre. And now onto the final game of the list of games releasing next week. This is Murders on the Yangtze River, a Ace Attorney-like detective game that will take you on a journey through early 20th century China as you solve a series of intriguing cases. Use your logical reasoning and deductive skills to uncover clues, interrogate suspects, and solve the mysteries. You'll play as John Shen, a travelling detective who is trying to uncover who murdered your own brother. But along the way, you'll have a bunch of cases that will need solving to finally uncover the truth. The game will play out like a point-and-click adventure as you investigate crime scenes and gather all the evidence needed to convict someone who has committed the crime. Let's just make sure we get the right person. The game won't be available in English, but it will have subtitles for us to still enjoy the game. I'm a huge fan of Ace Attorney games, so this one is already in my cart the moment it is available to be bought. And that is all the games we have for this week. Let me know in the comments if any of these has taken your fancy, and I'll catch you all next time.